So if, when I'm saying something, your little voice in your head is saying, well, that's a load of rubbish, acknowledge that. And now ask yourself afterwards, I wonder why I think it's a load of rubbish. So not only when you are, the trick to listening is not just listen to others, it's listen to what's going on in your head when the other person is talking. Because it will tell you a lot about what you're actually going to do, as opposed to what you say you're going to do. Suspend judgment. Suspend comes from the Latin suspendere, which is basically like that. Now what I mean by suspending judgment is, again, if I'm saying something, and you're going, no, don't believe that, you've judged. Suspend means don't ignore it, don't repress it, just leave it out there for a while. You can see how that would be really hard to do with faculty. Because number one, we all probably have very strong opinions about things. And we're all quite smart. And we all think we're experts in our area. And the worst thing you could be is an expert in your area, because you're all going to be right. Yeah? Suspending judgment is key. And then the last one is voice. Don't censor yourself. Say what you really think. If you think of it, if I'm a head of department and I am presenting our new strategy, this is what we're going to do. What do you think? And you all go, yeah, that's the strategy for us. And inside your head going, yeah, it's never going to work. But you censor because, I better not tell him this, or better not tell her that. Alfred Sloan, who was the head of General Motors, used to have a trick when he went to strategy meetings in General Motors. He'd come in, there'd be something that they would have to discuss. And he'd open up and he'd start the discussion. And then he'd say, well, gentlemen, it was mostly gentlemen, so this is back in the 60s. Well, gentlemen, what do we think? Are we all in agreement? And everybody would go, oh, yes, Alfred, absolutely, we're all in agreement. And he said, right, I'm closing the meeting here, and we will have another meeting when we have something to disagree about. Now, what he was doing there, he was basically trying to give them permission to disagree with him, because mostly they were frightened to say anything. Right? So he used to close meetings if there wasn't disagreement. And his argument was very simple. Our strategy couldn't be that perfect. Surely something somebody has seen. Now, how many times does that really happen? How many times does it happen in our class where a student might say to you, I don't understand that, or I don't get what you're trying to do, or I don't agree with you? Rarely. How many times does it happen at program level where your staff will come to you and say, no idea what you're trying to do there, Dad? And how many times does it happen at university level? How many times have you been in a meeting with the president of the university and say, that's an awful idea. Must do better. And you know what happens then? You, if you're a clever enough president, or you're a clever enough lecturer, you're a clever enough program director, know that that's not true. But you know what? It's just as easy to believe it. So let's just move on. So you've got to get over that self-censorship. That's really hard. It's really hard when we're at different levels of authority. So if you're in the room and your president is there and your head of department is there and you're there and there's a tutor there. So it's really hard to try and create that space and model that space. But if you don't, you're not going to have a real conversation. It just won't happen. It's not saying that there won't be any changes, but it just won't be a real conversation.